Autobots, roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Iron Factory EX-14 Ultimate Commander, and I love this toy. Originally released in early 2017, he is still available from some online retailers, and the retail price is approximately $7. Now, this toy does something really cool in that it is a War Within style Optimus Prime figure that also includes a trailer. Which is something we haven't seen War Within Prime do yet, is have a trailer. And then the cool thing about the trailer is that it comes apart and it becomes armor for our War Within Optimus Prime. But then when he's got the armor on, he looks more like a God GINRAI, which is really cool. Let's bring in the packaging real quick. We'll set the figure aside. And this is the packaging that he comes in. Now, earlier versions of this figure came with a packing figure. It was either RC or Elita 1. This is obviously not the package that came with that figure, or I would know which figure I'm talking about. But I'm almost certain it was Elita 1. It would have made more sense for an Optimus to come with an Elita 1. But here's the front of the package. And then around the back, we've got some product shots. And you can see the War Within truck by itself, the one with the trailer, which we just looked at, and then the 3 robots. It shows you 3 robots because it starts with just the plain War Within style, and then just kind of a, and in between with a lot of his weapons. He comes with a lot of weapons, and then finally the God GINRAI looking one. So let's get started with the figure itself, and I just really love this figure. Now, here we have him with the truck with the trailer, and it measures approximately 6 inches long. It's about 2 inches tall at the top of the trailer, 3 if you want to go to the top of the cannons here. And as you can see, he rolls pretty well. And if he looks like the front wheels are not rolling, it's because this is really cool. The front wheel, or the front wheels here, this is solid. This does not move. The actual rolling part of the wheel is going to be on the inside there. Check that out. That is really cool. And as you can see, he rolls fairly well. He's not the best rolling thing I've ever seen, but he does roll. All the wheels are on the surface, and they're rolling, and they're good. And he looks fantastic. Just check that out. He's just completely decked out with weapons. So let's get started looking at those weapons there. First, I'm going to bring the ones that you're not seeing. So first off, he's got his Optimus Prime style rifle there, which we're going to be looking at with the robot mode more in depth there. So that's that one. And then he's also got this sword, which I'm not crazy about. I mean, the sword itself is very cool. I'm just not a big fan of Optimus's. All of a sudden, every Optimus has to have a sword. But what this sword does that is really cool is it does come apart. You can take that off, and you can take the bottom of the handle off, and then attach this to the sword. And now you've got yourself a sword and an axe. So you got some play choices here, which is really cool. Usually, I don't use this at all. I am a fan of the original rifle, which we just looked at, and the occasional axe. I'm not crazy about this craze now that every Optimus has to have a sword nowadays, but there it is. It's there. It's a choice that you have if you wish to use it. So it is a pretty cool choice. I don't want to down talk this thing. This thing is really cool. It's just not my flavor. So there's that. And then there's a couple more weapons here on the vehicle itself. Right on the top, you're going to see 2 rifles. And these rifles are very similar to the Power Master Optimus Prime rifles. As you can see, very cool. So there's those. And then we've also got, there's these 2 cannons here on the top, and then these cannons on the side themselves. These are also removable, but I'm not going to remove them quite yet because you can leave those on during transformation and in the robot mode. So let's get the trailer separated, and the trailer is pegged in on the sides, right between the 2 back wheels on each side. So just peg those, unpeg them there and there. And there you go. You can see the 2 pegs there and there. There's the trailer all by itself. And then you can see where these guys were pegged in right there on each side. And there is the little War Within Optimus Prime vehicle by itself, which is arguably the weakest form of this toy. He does a relatively good job, I guess, of looking like War Within Optimus. Just for comparison, here he is real quick with the titanium War Within, so you can see what they were going for. So he doesn't do a bad job of looking like that. Now, he looks better with the weapons on. If you take the weapons off, then you can see a lot of the flaws, and you can see some robot parts, and you know he's not that strong in vehicle mode by himself without the trailer and without the weapons. Here in this mode, Optimus is approximately 4 inches long and about 1 inch tall, so very small. And there you go. So now let's get started with transformation. First thing I'm going to do is extend the back of the truck, and that is going to form the legs, and these guys are still quite stiff. I've been playing with it quite a bit, but some of these are still a little stiff. Fold out the feet, and then I'm going to slip up these panels here, and these are going to be the knee covers, and you're going to feel them click into place right there. Now these are on sliders, and if you push on them too hard, they will slide all the way up onto his thigh and just come off. It's not a big deal to just pop them right back in. So unpeg the legs from each other, and the legs are pretty much done. The arms right here on the side are pegged in there and there, so just unpeg those from there. And then these are going to swing around, and this tab here is supposed to peg into that little slot right there. They don't do a very good job of that. Straighten out the arm, rotate the forearm, and rotate the hand, and then the arm should peg in right there. Like I said, should. That's a little bit of a weak spot there for this figure. There's that. Now we are going to bring down the front of the truck, just like so, and then push it down. Reach up here. Let's see. You know what? Just for the review so we can see what we're doing, I'm just going to take that off for the moment. So you can see the head is right in there. So we are going to, you're going to have to do this 2 things at a time here. So just pop this part open just a little bit, enough for you to get your finger in there and push up on that panel. Just enough to help you reach the head. Once you can reach the head, you can just pull this thing all the way out. Let's go back here for a moment. This panel is on 2 hinges, so you can just accordion this back up. Right in there, take this panel and let it sit right on top, and we can put the gun back in. You can see there's a peg and a tab, I guess, and you're going to notice that the hole on the bottom of these guns are keyed. There's a hole in a slot right there, so that's going to help you peg it in, get it oriented, and it's going to stay in place. It's not going to rotate on you while you play, which is really nice. And then finally, we're going to rotate the head. There is a hinge here, so fold that at the hinge, and then bring this down until this lines up, and then it's going to stop. As you can see, I can tap on it. The head's not going in. And finally, last thing, we're going to rotate them at the waist. I should have done that earlier, but I did it now, so there it is. And you can play with the shoulders here because it's on that front part of the wheel. That front part of the wheel does rotate, so you can rotate these shoulder pieces around to make them lower or higher. As you can see there, that one's now higher than this one. So whatever looks best to you, there's no real set way. You just make it look whatever looks best to you. And there you go. There is our Ultimate Commander in robot mode, and I think he looks incredible. Here in robot mode, Ultimate Commander is approximately 4.5 inches tall, and as you can see, a very, very nice representation of our War Within Optimus Prime. For comparison, here he is next to Wobbly Mess Optimus Prime. I mean Titanium Optimus Prime. So, there they are together. You can see the Ultimate Commander is quite a small figure. I really, really love this size. It just makes it really easy to just kind of take along with you and play, and I'm really enjoying the small figure. So, taking a closer look at Optimus or Ultimate Commander for articulation, his head can rotate. The shoulders can go up and down all the way around. They do have a little bit of in and out. They are on the ball joint here, so they can go in and out a little bit, but not too much. You got a full bend at the elbow forwards and backwards, and you got a rotation at the wrist. You saw that we have a rotation at the waist. We do have ball joints at the hip, so in and out, forward and backwards. We've got a nice full 90 bend at the knee, and we do have some pivot at the ankles. Do we have side to side? A little bit of side to side, but not much. So there you go. And we can go ahead and, like I said earlier, these are removable. You can take these off. You saw that I transformed him with all these weapons on. You don't have to leave them on. You can take them off if you want, and you can just have them look like that. Personally, and this is just me, but I do like him better. He does come packed with these on. and I do prefer how he looks with these on. So that's just me. It's you know, whatever your preference is. So there's that, and then of course you can bring any of the weapons that he comes with. So we haven't seen this one yet. So this is the Optimus Prime style rifle. So that's the one that I like to you know, display him with in this mode. I like that one. Of course, you can use any of the other weapons. Here's the more Power Master Optimus Prime one. You can use that one too. Or you can use both at the same time if you wish. Or you can bring in the big giant sword. You can do that. Or you can also... This is probably better served with the bigger figure, but we can go ahead and show it off now. Just to show that he can do it. And then you can do this. Bring that all the way down and then put the hilt on. And that looks, you know, makes a little more sense for this robot mode. There you go. Or for this big sword mode anyway. So there's that. And of course you can take these apart. Give them just the axe. There you go. So there's that. And then finally we can take that off and we can give him just a small sword. So there you go. There's, I think, just a marathon through all the weapons right there. So there you go. You've got a lot of play options, which is really, really nice about this figure. Now, my one and only complaint with this figure, if you haven't noticed, is that these tabs on the shoulders, they don't hold very well. So as I'm trying to pose them or give them weapons or play with it or whatever, these keep popping off, especially his right one. You can see that's barely tabbing on. So that's probably my one and only complaint with this figure. Other than that, so far I have loved everything about it. So now let's get ready to put all the armor on him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all his weapons off. And then we are going to extend them right here at the torso. You can see how there's a little, let's get that out of the way. There's a little bar right down there. I don't know if that's showing or not, that I just extended it on. Take the head, rotate it, and put that away. And then put the chest piece back in place. Make sure everything's lined up. And finally, I'm going to take the ankles and I'm going to put them away. And Ultimate Commander is now ready for combination. So we'll set him aside and we'll bring out the trailer piece. And basically what we're going to do here is we're just going to take this whole thing completely apart. Starting with, let's see, what do we want to start with? The whole bottom part of the trailer. Is it? Yep. So the leg parts here are the back wheels. These do not tab together. Okay, the way that these tab in is there's these two blocks down here, and there's going to be a peg on the bottom of each of these. So when you put these together, you just peg them into the block, and they hold individually. But as you saw, they hold, you know, lined up pretty well. So these come up; these are individual. And then take this piece right here and rotate it. There is a tab right there that goes into that slot, so that's going to lock into place just like that. And our feet are ready. We are going to come up here. We're going to take these wings. We're going to split these and just kind of get them off to the side. We're going to take these guns and we're going to unpeg these are pegged into the silver part here. So just kind of pull those apart. And as soon as you do that, this part's going to come off. And then come up here, get the head, rotate it up. That piece is ready. Set that aside. Let's see. Oh, this piece up here at the top, this little silver piece, pull this off. This is going to be the waist piece. And that's ready. Well, these pieces came up, so I might as well take these off. These are pegged in at the top right there. Separate these are going to be the arms. There's a little hinge piece right here. Open that up. And those are ready. And then finally, these red pieces here, we're going to just pull these off. And I went ahead and took the liberty of adding some Autobot stickers to these. So take these, set them aside, and we're all set. Take there's this little... There's a little, I don't know, turbines or jet pieces here. Rotate those down. Take the guns, point them straight up. This panel is going to fold down, and then the barrels of the guns are going to extend. And we're all set. We are ready for combination. First thing we're going to do, let's start with the arms. So, the arms, take the arms, and there is a peg right inside there that's going to fit right into the fist. So the fist is just going to grab onto that. So just reach in there and just snap it into place. You felt it snap, and then you can just close that, and that's all that is right there. Take that in and close it. And then these pieces are going to be, there's a tab right there that's going to slot into that slot right there. And then there's a little tab on the front part there that's going to tab in right in between these two smokestacks. I cannot talk this morning. My goodness. Happy New Year, either way, to everybody. Today is January 1st as I am filming this. Very early in the morning. Everybody else is asleep, so you can probably hear it in my voice. So there you go. There's the arms all done. Waist piece is just going to snap. That's just going to hug the crotch piece right there. And just slide that all the way back until it stops. And you heard it snap right there. There you go. These are going to attach the exact same way that they attached in vehicle mode. So that peg's going to go into that hole right there. And that's all there is to it. And it just holds by friction. And it's kind of a really smart design because that's all there is to it, right? So you can actually give them a bit of an ankle tilt just because of the way it's connected, which is really, really smart. So there's that. And you can start to see him taking shape here. We are going to bring back the guns that he had. I think I pushed that out of the way. Hang on. Let's get that back in place right. That's better. We're going to bring back the guns that he had on his arms earlier, and we're going to peg those into the side right here. So it's going to look very GINRAI right there. I really love, they really paid a lot of attention to detail here on this. So there's that now. Now we can take the chest piece, and remember we separated the torso here, so this is just going to slot right into that slot there, and it's going to snap into place with our head already out. There you go. That's all set. And then finally we can take the backpack, and the backpack also has a keyed in slot. If you remember, we had the peg with the tab in the back here, so it's all keyed in. So once you get it in there and you get it in place, it's going to stay in place. And my chest did not snap in. There it is. Now you can take your wings and angle them any way you want. You can bring your guns down and get them all straightened out. And there is Ultimate Commander all armored up. And I think he looks fantastic. He looks so gorgeous. In this mode, Optimus or Ultimate Commander is approximately 5 inches tall at the top of the head, 6 if you want to go to the top of the guns here. And of course, at this point, we can once again armor him up in any which way we want. Personally, I like to give him, well, before I give him any weapons, let's look at articulation. Articulation is going to be pretty much the same that we had. All the joint or the points of articulation are going to be the same. We have a new head, so this new head is on a ball joint, so you do have a little bit more articulation at the head now than you had before. The arms are pretty much the exact same with the exception of you lost the wrist rotation. We still have the waist rotation. We have everything else is all the same. And again, as you saw with the legs, we have a little bit of ankle tilt because of the new piece, the way it's connected. But also we've gained an ankle, I guess this would be the tilt, right? Side to side. So check that out. That's pretty cool. So you do get 2 more points of articulation. You lose 1, but you gain 2 more, which is really, really nice. Now, getting back to the weapons. At this point, what I like to do is I like to bring these guys in. And these are the ones that I keep calling the Power Master style guns. And I like to give them those because I think that just looks gorgeous. There you go. Check that out. And I take the regular Optimus Prime rifle, and I'd like to just peg it in the back and point it straight up. And that's it. That's what I like to do. Now, there's another thing that you can do. This is not part of the instructions, but I have seen some people doing it, so it's really, really cool. This piece that was on the roof earlier and on his back, this comes apart. So you can take these apart, and then I'm just going to take the little peg here and peg it back there. And he's got these pegs on the sides down here, and this is where the arms peg into for vehicle mode. Where these arm pieces here peg into there. So you can take these guns and these little holes right there, and you can slot those right in there. And again, this is not part of the instructions, but I have seen people doing this online, and I thought it looked absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to do it too. It looks fantastic. So put those there. Get them all straightened out again, everything pegged in place. And yeah, how awesome does that look? He looks fantastic, and I just pulled the pegs out of it. And of course, you still have the sword and the axe, or the sword axe, or the big long sword, whatever you want to do with this. You can give him that as well. So why don't we, just for the sake of the review, do that? So I guess I just put it aside. And let's give him the big giant sword, because why not? Like that there. Give him the hilt. Push it up just a little bit. There you go. So there you go. That looks pretty awesome, huh? And one more time, for comparison, here he is with wobbly mess. I mean, titanium Optimus Prime. I do love this figure, but man, what a mess. I think these are supposed to be pointing forward. I don't remember. I reviewed this figure a long time ago, and I don't remember. I haven't messed with it since my review, actually. So there you go. You can see what, and this guy is still actually shorter than the titanium figure. What do you know about that? So there it is. Fantastic figure. Absolutely love it. Like I said, still available from some online retailers. If you wish to pick it up, I absolutely love it. Some minor gripes with it, but they're like I said, they're very minor. You can live with them. I absolutely adore everything about this figure. I want more of this. This is fantastic. I think that about covers the Iron Factory EX-14 Ultimate Commander. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.